Downey, you are.
Oh, Warren's on his way. Let's stand for the pledge and call this meeting to order. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. We need to open the public hearing on the Unified Solar Permit. Thanks, ma'am. Please take notice that the Pine Plains Town Board will hold a public hearing April 18th, 2019 at 7:05 p.m. on proposed local law number 119, Town of Pine Plains adoption of the New York State Unified Solar Permit process for accessory solar installation. All persons desiring to be heard on said local law shall be given an opportunity to do so at said public hearing. Said hearing will be held at the Pine Plains Town Hall, 3284 Route 199, Pine Plains, by order of the Town Board. Judy Hart. So, I'd just like to open up to any comments on the solar law. If we have no comments, then I'll just close the public hearing. All right.
We need a second on that.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, thanks, everyone. Approval of the minutes and the town clerk report.
It's the March report and the March 21st and April 8th minutes.
I move that we accept those items as submitted.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
There should be some of them.
Judy, do you have a clerk report? Or
I gave it to
you
you.
gave it to everybody? Everybody's got it? All right.
I thought you'd think,
We accepted it.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I
Okay,
thought.
good.
It was the March report.
All right. Approval of the bills?
I move that we approve general bills 16,577 to 16,597. Highway bills 16,598 through 16,611. Water district bills 2,862 and 2,863. And a couple of late general bills, 16,615 to 16,621.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Supervisor statement. This week, there were two important meetings that affect our town. One was the Affordable Housing Summit hosted by the Northeast Community Center, and the other was our workshop meeting on Monday with the new rec director, Mike Cooper. The Affordable Housing Summit detailed quite a bit of information as regards fixing up houses that need repair when homeowners qualify financially for help, and the possibility of building new housing via a partnership with architect Dennis Wedlick and Habitat for Humanity. We heard from people who have led the charge for renovating Philmont, which now has a community kitchen, a co-op, and a number of new businesses. And we watched a presentation by Rupco, which has built Woodstock Commons, a rental development for seniors, artists, and young families over in Woodstock. Rory Chase, Sarah Jones, and Lisa Baker from the Durst organization all attended as well. My takeaway: small pieces of land can accommodate affordable housing, which can be owned by low-income families. Habitat for Humanity stays with these families, teaching them how to keep their mortgages going and their utility bills paid. They have a 100% success rate in terms of avoiding foreclosure. I'll be meeting with Dennis Wedlick, whose design is for passive solar affordable housing, which keeps utility bills low, and which he has graciously donated to Habitat, to see how we might find a way to work together on projects in Pine Plains. Let me know if you have a piece of land to donate to this kind of project. It doesn't have to be much. The new rec director can be seen on film on our website, talking all about his exciting plans for the rec department. High Points, a collaboration with Stanfordville Rec, a men's soccer league, clinics and coaching workshops, expanded participation at the Ag Fair, collaboration with Memorial Hall for concerts with local bands, and 3-on-3 basketball tournaments, to name but a few of his many ideas. My communications committee met this week with a focus group of people under 40 and asked them why they chose to live in Pine Plains. By the end of the evening, the unanimous answer emerged: the landscape and the people. And finally, please come to Pine Day. It starts at 10 a.m. at the library with readings of classic books on trees by local celebrities, and will be followed by a craft workshop for kids, at which we will have them build tiny houses for the little people called the Makiwisu, who live in the woods around here and were the people of the Mohegans. The houses will then be placed all over town. They're biodegradable, so look for them before they disappear. At 11:30 or so, we will begin a series of talks on composting, tree planting, and tree care, the history of our trees in Pine Plains, and a discussion by John Hoffman on drawdown, what we can do as individuals to mitigate climate change on our own. Finally, at 3 p.m., we will all come out here and hold a blessing for the community garden at Town Hall, Nelson Zayas presiding. This day will be a celebration of the trees here in Pine Plains, which are one of our greatest assets.
Give a date.
Huh?
Did you give a date?
Saturday.
This Saturday?
Yeah.
And for Don and Matt too, one addition there, but that RUPCO presentation I thought was so fascinating
Oh.
because they shared that they financed this affordable housing project through a tax credit program, which was, maybe you already knew about that, but I found that
Yes.
to be a fascinating way to get something like that cooking, and a big takeaway from
Yeah.
that.
And can I get a copy of your statement?
Oh, sure. All right. I mean, there was lots to, we could go on for hours
Yeah,
about that day. It
but
was
that was
really
so cool.
amazing. Yeah. Now it's time for public comment. If there aren't any public comments, I'll close that moment. Thanks. We have a lot of resolutions tonight. The first one is we do this pretty much every year. It's a standard workday and reporting resolution. This is for the retirement, and it's for the comptroller. So what they want from us is a record of a standard workday for those people who are on salary who don't have hours per se. So we had to kind of create, we had to look at people's calendars and try to average their workdays into a standard. And this is all for the comptroller. They want us to put it in our files and have it in case we get audited.
Well,
So,
it's also the purpose of it, I think the purpose of it is so that the state has an accurate
Yes.
record for the individuals for when they are entitled to their retirement
Exactly.
and what their last year of pay was. So it's a critical thing that has to be collected each
Yeah.
year so that people get credit for the time that they have put into their retirement fund.
exactly.
So they get the right amount when they.
And I do not have two of the calendars, so there's no sense in sending this to the state until I get them.
Okay.
Right, we won't be sending it yet because we have two people who haven't quite delivered
they
on,
haven't.
yeah, they're,
But the hours, all the 6 hours, doesn't necessarily reflect, from my reading of the materials, it doesn't necessarily reflect what those individuals are actually
Actually do.
doing,
Yeah.
if they're part-time people. But it gets put into some kind of ratio.
Yeah.
When their hours do get reported.
Yeah.
If Albany doesn't agree with what's been reported,
Uh-huh,
they will send it back and tell you that there was a miscalculation.
okay, okay.
So there are some people who are new on the list, and then there are some people who just need their statistics for recertification. So that's why you see the,
And is there does this reflect a matter that impacts our general fund or anything like that as well, or is this a separate You're saying a state retirement system?
This is, no, because it doesn't reflect the, because we're part-time, we're paying into it.
Okay.
So it doesn't come out of anything, it comes out of our
Okay.
paycheck.
So there's no point in doing this tonight because it's not complete?
No, we need to do it tonight, we need to pass it, because it's a routine,
Okay,
with the knowledge that there are two people who will report their numbers by
and those will be
tomorrow.
included?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I move that we adopt this resolution.
I second it.
All in favor?
All right.
Aye. All right, thank you. The next resolution is the Town of Pine Plains adoption of the New York State Unified Solar Permit process for accessory solar installation. Warren, should I read the resolution?
Sure.
Okay. And I have the Dutchess County, okay. Okay, whereas the town board on February 21st, 2019 commenced the local law adoption process for the local law entitled Town of Pine Plains Adoption of the New York State Unified Solar Permit Process for Solar Installations. And whereas the Town of Pine Plains Solar Committee reviewed the law and recommended certain changes to the same. And whereas the attorney to the town prepared an amended zoning law incorporating those changes, which was placed on the desks of the town board members on March 21st, 2019. And whereas the public hearing on the local law as amended was continued to April 18th, 2019, and opened and closed on that same date. And whereas the local law has been referred to the Town of Pine Plains Planning Board and Dutchess County Department of Planning and Development, which have both recommended approval of the local law, now therefore be it resolved that the town board hereby adopts local law number 1 of 2019 entitled The Town of Pine Plains Adoption of the New York State Unified Solar Permit Process for Accessory Solar Installations. And be it further resolved that the town clerk is hereby directed to file the said local law with the Department of State as required by law.
I move that we adopt this local law.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We need to do a
Roll
count.
call.
Supervisor Cloud,
Aye.
Councilman Bartle,
Aye.
Chase,
Aye.
Jones,
Aye.
Zick.
Aye.
Motion passed 5-0.
Yippee!
Finally.
I'm thrilled.
That happened pretty quickly though, too, right?
Now we can, this is our final Climate Smart Community Action.
Oh, wow.
Congratulations, everyone.
Congratulations, yeah.
So this is a big deal, and we can now apply for money for Climate Smart.
But we're still working on an independent solar law. This is just
Yes,
the
but
unified solar
the
permit.
unified permit is the
We're not
last.
finished with solar.
No. This is, not at all.
But she has her climate smart.
But I have my
now.
Climate Smart
Yeah.
Community.
I know.
So, this is great. Thank you, Warren.
And I'm gonna need to know, this is one that I got from you, and this is one that Dara had given me, and I'm gonna need to know which local
I think
law.
one just has a different typeface. For some reason, they come out.
They're
I think they're the
identical?
same. Yes. One will have a little bit bigger type,
Okay,
but they're the same thing.
that was from you that I printed out.
Is it the one you just got?
Not recently, no, it's been a while.
Oh, this is, I have it here.
I don't know,
so-
it's amended. Why don't you make sure she does?
Okay. I'm just going to give you the supervisor statement too, right? Hold on a second, let me get those two things together. All right.
You're gonna give me the local law.
Yeah, I'm giving you both those things right now.
Okay,
Read this
thank
whole
you.
thing.
All right, finally, the old library resolution. This is a resolution authorizing the town supervisor to execute a contract for sale of the town's property at 7806 South Main Street, Pine Plains, New York, to Matthew Breimer for the sum of $140,000. Whereas the town of Pine Plains is the owner of a parcel of land having tax parcel number 687218412180-0000, located at 7806 South Main Street, improved by a structure formerly occupied by the Pine Plains Free Library and a second-floor apartment. And whereas this property had been acquired by the town on or about September 3rd, 1974, by deed from the Pine Plains Free Library, filed in Lieber 1387 of deeds, page 79. And whereas the Pine Plains Free Library has moved their library facility from the subject property to a new facility located on South Main Street in the town of Pine Plains, and the property is no longer utilized by the Free Library or otherwise by the town for municipal purposes and has been for a while vacant. And whereas the town board has determined that it has no present or prospective need or use for said property, and whereas the town board placed this property on the market for sale on or about June of 2018 and solicited bids for the property with a minimum bid price of $125,000. And whereas the town board has received and reviewed several bids for the property and has determined to accept the bid submitted by Matthew Bremer through Paula Redmond Real Estate to purchase the property for the sum of $140,000 cash with no mortgage contingency, the only contingency being a review of the zoning by the purchaser, which has been completed, and with the closing to occur 30 days after fully executed contracts. And whereas the town, by virtue of the offer to sell, is obligated to pay a real estate commission in the amount of 3% of the sales price to Paula Redmond Real Estate at the time of closing of title. And whereas the town has been represented in this matter by Steed Real Estate, but Steed Real Estate has waived any right to a commission. And whereas the town has determined with the aid of its assessor that the purchase price of this property is fair and reasonable and represents the current fair market value. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board hereby authorizes the sale of the subject property to Matthew Bremer for the sum of $140,000 cash without any contingencies except clear title. And be it further resolved that the sale will be subject to all covenants, conditions, and restrictions of record as set forth in the deed to the property, and shall include all fixtures attached to the premises, including the current lighting, all in as-is condition, with no warranties or representations concerning the condition of the premises. And be it further resolved that the town supervisor is hereby authorized to execute a contract of sale, which shall be prepared by the attorney to the town and executed by the purchaser and forwarded to the town with appropriate down payment as required by the contract. And be it further resolved that the attorney to the town and the town supervisor are hereby authorized to execute such further documents required to close title on this property and to execute the requisite deed to the purchaser. And be it further resolved that this action shall be deemed to be a Type 2 action pursuant to 6 NYCRR Part 61726 and not subject to secret review. And be it further resolved that this resolution is subject to a permissive referendum as required by Town Law Article 7, and the town clerk is directed to publish a copy of this resolution with notification that it is subject to a permissive referendum in accordance with the requirements of law.
Make a motion.
Matt,
Accept or
the second.
Second?
All in favor?
You can need a roll call.
That's right, roll call.
Supervisor Cloud,
Aye.
Councilman Bartles,
Aye.
Chase,
Aye.
Jones,
Aye.
Zick.
aye.
Motion passed 5-0.
So what this means, so you understand that we're prepared a notice that has to be published in the paper. And if somebody wants to make the sale subject to a referendum, they have to file a petition within 30 days in accordance with the requirements of town law. So we can't actually agree to sell the property until we get past the referendum period, but I've spoken to the attorney for the purchaser and we've started communications about a contract.
Great, okay. Great.
That is to say, one person could stop this process from happening?
No, to file a petition, you have to have a certain amount of taxpayers. I don't want to give people instructions on how to do it.
It's very unlikely to happen. We'll put it that way.
I've had it happen one time.
Warren, but I should hold off on reporting the sale, correct, until
Reporting it to
the multiple listing service and all that sort of stuff.
I don't know, I mean, we can't sign contracts until.
Well,
the
you tell me
referendum.
when to report it, that's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I don't- I mean, I
Protect
don't-
the town's business.
I don't-
that's what I'm doing.
Have anything to do with, you know, whatever you wanna do with multiple listing, I don't know.
Well, you call it, you
Yeah.
call.
So do we take it off the multiple listing?
That's what you're saying, yeah.
I think that's probably
I-
appropriate,
yeah.
yeah.
I think
Okay.
so.
Yeah,
I
once,
think that-
once we start the process, we're,
Yeah,
I mean, assuming everybody is comfortable with moving forward with the sale, so
Yeah.
it should be taken off the market.
Then I'll
Yeah.
report it tomorrow, the next day, whatever.
That- that-
Thank you.
That's good. And thank you for your help.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yes, very much.
Very appreciated.
You're welcome.
Yeah, and congratulations.
Oh, we are so excited. And Whitney and Matthew just bought a house on Willowvale.
Oh.
So, and they are looking to do a very thoughtful restoration and for the residential upstairs and a community-minded retail on the main floor. So it's just a great town and we're all excited.
Wonderful,
We're
thank
very
you.
excited
Welcome
too.
to the community.
Yeah, we want to meet them.
Yeah.
Yes, and they definitely want to meet you.
All right.
So when they're back in town, yes.
That would be great.
Yeah.
That would be great. Okay. Wonderful.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Warren, it's your,
I don't know what else we have, let me see.
Uh,
I mean, I have some things I need to discuss with you in
Nature walk
executive
and
session.
park.
right, did we?
Nature
need-
Walk is resolved, you
Oh, it's
you approved that
resolved?
last
Approved
month.
that, that's right.
No, but it came back.
Yeah, but we've resolved
You
this.
resolved
There was
that.
some
Okay, I
minor
wasn't sure.
issues with the, it's all
That's
done.
minor, okay,
Um,
great,
And the Hart purchase, I'd like to discuss in executive session.
okay. All right. That takes us to Heather, Highway Department.
On the table, I presented a bunch of documents. First thing is the good news. We received our first check from our auctions that were completed. That's the first batch. So there's a check in the amount of $10,270 for surplus equipment. We do have the second batch will be coming, I would say, probably within the next month for the revenues from that. What else do we have up there? We also have the agreement for expenditures. Every year, I have to get your permission basically to expend the funds that have been set aside for highway improvement. Part of that in the budget is from the state funding, which is the CHIPS funding. This year, they have dropped the extreme winter recovery, so we're only receiving what is called the CHIPS funding and the Pave New York. I did present the totals up there. We do have, for CHIPS, $167,415.45 available. And again, those are for approved projects, which have a service life of 10 years or more. And also, in addition to that, we have the Pave New York. So it is two separate funds within the budget for the state, but it's all used for the same programs. That amount is $20,854.63. We did lose about $17,700 for not having the extreme winter recovery put into the budget this year from the state. So I know that there are superintendents that are trying to still write their legislators and ask for assistance and maybe some state budgeting amendments come June to see if maybe we can get that funding back in there. But that's what we're looking at so far. So on the agreement for expenditures, I've placed our CHIPS funding on there to be used on Skunks Misery Road, and then the remainder of the town budget, which is the $90,000, which is allocated for improvements on highways, basically to be spread throughout the town on whatever roads we feel are necessary. I'm still in the process of narrowing down exactly where the roads are that will be, the repairs will be happening on. Skunks Misery is one of the larger projects, which is why it's going to be used for the CHIPS funding. There is also a possibility that as quotes come back from contractors and I look at the roads better to see exactly what condition they're in, I may have to come to you so that we can amend that agreement for expenditures, which is not uncommon. Prices may go down for Skunks Misery, where then I can use it maybe for another road for CHIPS expenses. So at this point, all I'm asking for basically is for your approval and everyone's signature on that so that we can keep that on file, present it to the, I'm not sure if I still have to present it to the county, but again, it's just basically the permission slip that I can go ahead and start doing repairs and expend the funds that are set aside for that.
Do you need 2 copies?
In duplicate,
Okay.
yep, please. Does anybody have any questions on that?
Okay, signing.
Require the vote as well? Just
No, and just a majority of the board's signatures on the agreement for expenditures. Judy, do you by chance have my request for travel expenses for highway school that I gave?
I do.
You? Okay, Dara has it.
No, I should have had it, but I don't.
It's here.
Okay, yeah, there should be 2 copies there.
Yep.
And I'm just asking, as I do every year, for permission to go up to the highway school in Ithaca, which is, I think it's for 3 days, 4 days, 3 nights, something around there, beginning of
One for you and
June.
one for me.
Yes, I can make, yep.
I move that we authorize Heather to
Thank
go
you.
to
second it.
the highway.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. That is a very informative program, definitely. Another piece of paper that's placed up there, which I think Dara spoke about either at the workshop meeting or the last town board meeting, is the shared service agreement with New York State Department of Transportation.
So we can piggyback, I have to sign the same thing. So if you describe what it is,
Sure.
we can do both at the same time.
We signed it in 2015. I did clear it with Warren at that time. Basically, it's just an agreement that if there is an emergency and it is not declared by the governor as an emergency, that we can enter into shared services with the state to help with whatever the emergency is. The only difference that I see from 2015 to this year is that they've increased the amount. In 2015, it said the total amount of the agreement shall not exceed $10,000. This year, it's $25,000. Do you know if that makes a difference? Okay. And in 2015, it was described as for 1-year agreement. This year, it looks like it's for 4 years, but it's definitely beneficial to enter into that kind of an agreement. I think Warren can speak to the same.
All the municipalities do it.
Yeah. So the one that I've placed on the table is for my signature as the highway superintendent, but I just wanted you all to take a look at it and see if there were any questions that you had. If not, I'll take it back, sign it, and send it.
We don't have a copy.
All right, this looks exactly like the one I gave you at the April 8th meeting. So if you know that, it's the same.
I move that we enter into that shared services agreement.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Let's see, what else do I have? I know there was, and unfortunately I wasn't at the last town board meeting, but there was a question with regards to the insurance that's necessary for the equipment that needs to be registered. I did speak to DMV directly about it, and I'm not sure if this is something new that the DMV is requiring, because when I went to DMV to register our tractor, the girl said to me, we've had an influx of registrants coming in for their mowing tractors and pieces of equipment. So I'm not exactly sure why this is happening now, unless everybody is just realizing that their equipment should be registered and insured as such. But I did take it one more step, and I spoke to Mike Orlandi at the Dutchess County DPW, who's in charge of the equipment. He did verify that on a county level, all of their motorized equipment that travels the roadways is registered and insured as such. The only thing that would not be would be track machines such as excavators, but we don't have any of those. So the only one piece of equipment that I had a problem with registering would be our Toolcat. It's one that has several implements that attach to the front. When I went to DMV, she couldn't find that in the system, so I didn't register it for the present time, but I've since found out other information as to how it should be classified. So when I go back to do the loader, because I had to request a duplicate certificate of origin on the loader, I will then go and register the Toolcat. So everything that we have that travels the roadways will be registered and insured properly. I just wanted to clarify that,
And
because I
that
knew there
is
was some
actually
question.
accounted for in the new a new insurance quote.
Yeah, I looked at it, approximately how much is increasing the insurance to
I
register
think
vehicles that weren't
The bill that
registered?
just came in was maybe a couple $100.
It didn't look too bad.
No.
No, it's not bad at all.
Yeah.
And actually, our insurance overall went down
Yeah,
$200.
yeah, it was
so-
great. And I'm totally in
got rid of
favor that we should
We
have
need
those.
the proper
Yes,
protection.
yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. On the other level, just to let you know what the crew's been doing, we did complete our sweeping and debris removal with our contractor throughout the roads, the town-owned roads in the center of town. That is done. We are still working on some of the roads that are out of town, which is why I said I still need to analyze, assess some of the roads and see exactly who needs what repairs where. We've been cutting shoulders throughout town to prepare for the next step, which are the road repairs that will be undertaken now that the permission slip is signed. I think that's all I have, except for the fleet card that was brought up at the workshop meeting, I think, and that's for the fuel. When we have our workshop meeting next month for specific highway-related issues, I'd like to talk more about that. Just to clarify a couple things that did come up at the workshop meeting, the reason for my suggestion into this program, and I do want to verify the per gallon pricing before I really say I'm a strong supporter of this. It does have its security measures and other things, and the tanks have issues at the garage that need to be addressed in terms of regular routine maintenance. So there were a few reasons why I looked into this. I'm trying to think, there was one other thing I wanted to bring up about this. I'm not asking for this because it's difficult for us to bill or keep track of fuel at the shop. That's not the issue at all. And the other thing was about the, when I watched the workshop meeting and others watched the workshop meeting, there was something that went around the table that really rubbed some people the wrong way about, it almost inferred theft of fuel at the shop. That is not the case at all. And I'm going to say, I'm going to stand up for my crew here. They're very upset at some of the things that were said at the table with regards to almost the...
Okay, I felt that I didn't have anything like the kind of information I
no, I
needed
totally
to
understand.
make a decision on that. And I certainly, and I don't think anyone else intended that we were making any kind of personal comment about anyone. It has to do with process of how
Sure.
we're going, and our job is to protect the town.
Absolutely,
And
understood.
of course, I mean, the current crew is, I have no question about that. I want to know what the security measures are, because you want to have those in place.
Sure.
And it seemed to me like, and I did a little bit of research, that there are security measures and there is identification required, but I need to know that
Oh,
before
absolutely.
I'm going to commit to a new program. And then the other issue I have is, I usually run it by Corinna because it's going to be a different process.
Actually, it's much easier, and I
Well,
did
it may,
look-
right,
yeah.
but I just encourage communication, so
absolutely.
everyone, it's not, doesn't feel like somebody's being pushed off to get less work or more work, or, I have a feeling it's gonna be easier to deal with, too.
For all of everyone.
Yeah,
Even
so,
on the bookkeeping
I'm
side.
sure, I
Yeah.
was not against it,
No,
I
no,
just didn't have enough
No,
information.
I'm not, no, that's not what, that wasn't it at all. That wasn't it at all.
So I'm
No,
sorry
Jerry,
if anyone was
did you want
offended,
to
it
speak?
certainly was not intended in
No, no.
that fashion.
We were also speaking abstractly about, the notion of how secure is it
Yeah,
now already, and is there a difference in fiction, the idea of security if we move to the fleet card?
No, I understand, that's why I
Oh.
wanted to present it to
Yeah.
you, and we'll talk more about it next month when I
And then
have all of my details.
But that's not to
gather there's a-
impugn anyone.
I think that the crew will be very happy to hear you at the table saying this, because what
Yeah.
they took from the
Yeah,
last
yeah.
was...
No, no.
And also,
No one's suspecting them of stealing fuel.
it looks like you get a very good rate as well.
Well, that's what I
But-
need to look into.
Okay, we
It
need to
looks
know
like
that
you-
too.
No, and that's why I'm holding back from really saying, I think we should do this. When I looked and made some more phone calls and asked about the pricing, and I need to see it, I'm a numbers person, I need to see it in front of me. The way it was explained to me quickly, and me looking at it says, you know what, I think we actually get a better price on our own, but I want to delve into that before we talk about it more next month. Definitely, because I also am looking for budget numbers. I mean, we need to get the best here. The state police do use this as well, just so that you know, there are very large entities that participate in this. But the pricing is, I want to make sure we're not going to be paying more than we need to by moving over to this just because of whatever the other issues may be, maintenance or whatever else. We have to weigh both
Is it more
sides.
convenient for the employees?
I don't know that it's a matter of convenience. It's a matter of what I think for billing purposes that way, for the maintenance issues that we're going to be looking towards for the tanks, which I'll present to you in our workshop meeting. It's things of that nature. And for just the fact that the no lead gasoline is there, it's a very explosive, you know what I mean? If we could outsource it and then have to pay less in licensing or maintenance on the tank, it might be beneficial to us, and that's what I was looking at. That and just for record keeping for other divisions of the town using
I like
it.
the idea of the fleet car. I hope it wasn't something that I said
No, no,
at the
no.
last meeting.
No, it was, if you go back and see the meeting, you'll understand.
Heather, if they have a question about something I said, which I don't remember, I'll gladly come down and explain
I know,
what my
you're very
concerns are. Because I am aware of abuses that we have had.
Okay.
And it doesn't have anything to do with your
The
crew.
current, okay. Oh, gotcha.
Okay?
Okay, I gotcha. But that clears the air on that. Thank you for that.
And one question that I have, what I would like you to be able to answer is availability for 24 hours a day.
Mhm.
And ours is protected by our generator,
Yes,
where
that is
the
another,
others,
exactly.
the other
That's a good
two are
point.
probably not
That's-
protected by
That's another
generators.
big one right there. I
So
know
that's
that-
something I would like to talk
Yeah,
about.
and
when
those
we
are
get-
all things that I want to have everything in front of me before I say, I really think we should do this. I mean, yes, right off the bat, it sounds like a great thing, but there are a lot of things like the 24-hour, and that's very important, and pricing too. Anyway, I think that is all I have at this point. Does any, and then we
I
have
have a question for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Today I got a call from Tim Richards. Did you talk to him, Don? Okay.
The infamous tree.
It's the tree.
I told him to call Karen.
Okay,
and put-
that was today?
I
Yeah.
talked to him yesterday.
And I talked to him today,
And-
so.
Okay, so he probably reached out to you guys because no one was in the office today.
Ah,
I was-
okay.
Okay.
I was with
right.
my daughter and Karen.
No,
was off on Thursday.
he reached out to us first.
Okay.
And so we suggested to go through the proper channels.
Yeah.
And
I think
I
we
also
talked about this tree a couple of years ago. I did drive by when I got Lori's message a couple of days ago. It is within the right of way. I just need to find out what the issue is that he feels with the tree. So I will reach out. I have his contact information.
If you can talk to him, you'll
Oh, yeah.
understand what he's talking about.
I'm sure.
Um,
I'm sure I've talked to him
He's
before.
feeling like it threatens two houses. Whichever way it goes,
Mhm.
it's gonna threaten two houses. Either
right on
Jess's house,
This is the one to the right of his driveway?
yes,
Okay.
yeah. He's doing his trees, the trees that are on his lawn, but this one is in the right of way, and it's tangled up in the wires.
I know we trimmed that tree out a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Trimmed the dead out of it, so I'll have to take
I think
a
it's,
better, I wanted to know exactly which tree he was talking about,
That's
take a
the
better
one.
look at it. Okay, that's what I suspected, but I'll look at it a little bit better. Yeah, I think that's all I have. We'll have a lot more discussion next month about a lot of other highway issues.
Tell
Thank-
them that we're sorry and we did not mean to offend them.
They're going to watch the meeting, they'll know.
we
Thank
love
you.
them, we love our highway crew.
Thank you.
Okay. Drew?
Our bi-monthly report for March, 3 building permits were issued, bringing the total to 9 for the year. Still no new houses yet this year. 1 certificate of occupancy issued, 4 CO searches completed, and 13 site inspections done. It's the start of a good year. Statistically, that's the best start we've had in 10 years, so hopefully that means something, I'm hoping. My in-service training, I'm registered and scheduled for that. That takes place next Wednesday through Friday, so if I can get that done, that'll give me a big chunk of my required in-service training time. So thank you for that.
Drew, the some of the, the road flags, the advertising road
Yeah, I was
flags.
just gonna raise that.
Oh, you are?
Because
They've been up a month.
well, the
Yeah,
hamburger,
I
right, and so they went back on the other one.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, there's one back on the other one.
Okay.
Because,
Probably
the-
because he's afraid that, yeah, us.
you know, it's like,
Grand opening days
unfortunately,
are over.
Yeah.
then their sons go away.
Thank you, sir.
Right.
Rich?
Yep,
Assessor?
had a lot of problems trying to find information about the LEEDS program. And I saw a lot of advertising, pages and pages, but I finally got some information from Wikipedia. And basically, that's my last resort. Well, I got two information, one's good and one's bad. Wikipedia is not too good. It says there's a lot of problems with the energy efficiency they're supposed to get, include 35% of the buildings that they recorded had less efficiency than before they started. Okay? There's a couple of professionals who are accredited professionals, and I didn't go into their accreditation, said LEEDS is broken and it needs to be fixed. They find very little energy or water savings, LEEDS. Now, with the help of my son, who does energy in big buildings, he pulled out a residential project that was done where the state gave grants to people putting up LEEDS-type houses. And that was the only place I could find what actually has to be done in a residence. And the nice part of that is 95% of the people who applied for this not only got it, but completed the program. But I'd like to just very quickly read the type of things that have to be done. See now. Okay. Required high efficiency furnaces, energy or heat recover ventilators, ground source heat pumps, Energy Starred qualified products including appliances, lighting, and medical equipment, high performance windows, on-demand tankless water heaters, advanced framing, which they have two types, a spray foam insulation and an alternate framing system, and water efficient appliance. All that has to be done. The people who did this got $5,000 from the state for being approved. I know this is going to cost a heck of a lot more than $5,000. So it's not something that I found anybody in New York getting a discount on. Pittsburgh had one home that they did give a deduction on. But that's the only place I found that type of thing.
Great.
Now you gotta remember, when this is done, we have to have somebody check all this. And that's either us or the building inspector. So that's a lot of additional work if this is done.
All right,
Okay?
great. Thank you.
Drew, do you have an opinion on the LEED certifications? Did you look into it at all?
I don't know that much about it. It was my understanding that it's certification that they get from the organization itself, so, they end up with a certificate.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it would necessarily take individual inspection like on our part.
Can I just say one other thing? I've got all that stuff here. If anybody would like to read through it, if you want it, it's yours,
Great.
But this is the end of LEEDS for me.
Well, with you being the head assessor now, how do you feel about us as a town going forward and,
Offering a discount for LEEDS?
yes,
Taxes, no.
okay.
They're supposed to, this is supposed to give them big energy savings. And though I like to promote it, to say just because you have a certificate, I don't know what that's going to mean to LEEDS. This is what was done on this program where they were giving grants. So it gives me an idea. But they mentioned LEEDS in this program as one of the people. And this is the silver certificate, which is the lowest rate. So,
Great, that's very helpful. Thank you.
and I'll leave this here.
Okay.
in the thing.
Great, thank you.
Do we want to make a decision on it?
I don't think this.
I think we should, maybe I just want to remind you what I learned from the Dursts, that they're not
Yes,
they're not
I
interested in
remember
LEEDS
that. Right.
because they don't find it
Right.
as efficient as they're going to bill.
I mean, I, for one, I don't see any reason why we should go
don't
forward
either.
with such a program. And if someone wants to do it, all for it, it's good to have energy efficient houses. It's terrific. but I don't think it's something that we should change our assessment practices around.
I agree.
Are there tax credits for the certification?
That's what that was
I
the
know,
question.
what are the tax credits? I mean, I understand what you're saying. The cost would be astronomical to do what you're saying.
Right.
So it would have to be a people's means in order to create.
That's exactly
to
right.
start, right.
Someone has bought a piece of property and is planning to put up a Leeds house.
Right.
And was making inquiries as to whether we would consider some form of,
Tax relief.
Tax relief.
Well, I think it should be at a federal or a state level, if anything.
Yeah, not
Right.
the local level, yeah,
Not the
that
local
makes
level.
more sense.
All right, so,
Well put.
do we need to vote on that, or should we just,
Just leave the
Table
road, right,
the
because we don't have
stuff
well,
anything there.
we need to write them down. I think we should make a decision
I will
on it.
definitely, yeah, I'll definitely write them.
So I think we should take a vote that we're not
All
going to
right,
go forward with that. That we've
do you
just,
want to move?
I move that after our discussion and our research by our assessor, we have determined that we will not be undertaking such a program. Good
I'll
luck
second.
on their housing.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All
All
right,
in
thank you.
favor, aye, okay.
And I will write them. John?
Okay, for the month of March, we had 8 hours of court, 184 hours of patrol, 13.5 of admin, 2 hours of vehicle, handled 11 complaints, 4 fire and EMS calls, 3 auto accidents, 42 traffic warnings, 21 UTTs issued, 1 parking warning. And I would just like to ask the board if you've had a chance to review that applicant from last month,
Did you,
so I can just give him an answer.
we had a discussion. We did have a discussion. We kind of tabled it to understand it better. The question was, can you articulate what this person would be doing and why you need him?
He would be pretty much on a per diem. He'd be just a fill-in if somebody couldn't make it to a shift. And then when, say, one of the guys retires, like Mike Lawson is probably going to retire soon, then he could just fill right into a full, to the part-time position.
And do you have the money in the budget for his equipment?
He isn't going to need any equipment.
Okay.
The only thing that he's field trained, he's got uniforms. The only thing he's going to be issued is his service weapon, and that's it. So we really don't have to put anything into him.
And did they changed the law on the college credit? So,
That's still going to be a gray area. That's going to
Okay.
be up to Dutchess County
all right,
if he can actually be hired or not.
okay.
That would be if you had a chance to look at that,
Yeah.
that would be my next step.
Okay, so what they did was, let's see if I can articulate this. They actually just recently changed, they did go ahead and change the law, didn't they? Yeah, that you don't have to have the 60 college credits that they used to require to become a policeman. So,
So if you don't have the 60 college credits, you have to have 2 years prior.
right,
So he really doesn't have 2 years, but between his academy credits, his time working with the sheriff's department, his time dispatching with Hyde Park, it's like a gray area. Dutchess County employment may say, yes, he has enough.
so that's the question.
But we won't know this until you.
Won't know
file an
till it's
application.
submitted. They may say, no, you can't hire him.
Okay.
And he's gone through all the school?
He's went through everything. He's been field trained and everything by Dutchess County Sheriff.
There's gonna be no equipment. With that, then I have no problem. I have no
And
problem.
he lives in town.
Good.
Which is good. That's great.
We'll see if he passes.
All right, so motion?
I'll make a motion. No?
I'll second.
Aye.
What is the motion?
What's the motion?
You give it to Don, too, that way
Yeah,
he
because I know who you're gonna hire, is that what I'm?
What's his name?
What's his name, John?
nature.
Mark Posada, I believe.
Mark, what?
Posada? That, don't quote me exactly on that, it's been like since last month. I think it's Mark Posada.
You're gonna bring up the spelling of that.
I have it downstairs.
Yeah.
We had the application on us last month.
That wasn't good.
All right, can we have a real motion?
I make a motion that we go forward with the application of the new officer.
And Sarah?
I second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. This is town board shorthand.
Well, if you think that is, you should see this.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
John, we wanted to talk about the police matron.
Yes.
Is that your next thing on your list?
Well, no, I wanted to give you an
Okay.
update on Michael Bellevue.
Okay.
He graduated the police academy on April 6th. He received the Best Marksman Award. And as of date, he's already got 48 hours of his field training, 160 hours in. So we're really ahead of schedule with him on that. And to kind of follow along with that, I'm thinking the money that we put in, the time we put in, the equipment we put in and everything, we should have some kind of contract for new hirees that we just don't go through all this training and provide equipment and whatnot, and then they see a job that's more appealing and they leave us. So I think we should have some kind of contract with some kind of set amount of time at least that they would stay with us.
I like that. What would be a reasonable amount, 2 years?
That's what I was thinking, 2 years. I'm pretty sure, Bob, but you used to have something kind of like that,
You
didn't
mean
you?
the contract that they would have to stay employed?
Well, we're paying for their training, their
But now the
equipment,
cost is so
and
much
more.
in return for that,
So
you
they'll
know.
have to repay that if they don't, I mean. the
Yeah, will they
contract-
repay us? Would that work if they leave early?
They'd have to repay that as part of
Uniforms,
the
the
contract.
academy, field training hours and all that, it starts mounting to a chunk of change.
Is that something you could write up, or?
If you give me, do we have a form contract that we use for our police?
No, we don't. Do you know of any other towns that are doing that?
Well, I just remember Bob used to do it back when I got hired, you know, back then, of course, the academies just started, you didn't even have to go to an academy. So that had just started, and it was a lot, you know, a lot less expensive. The town didn't provide your gun, you bought your own leather. I think you might have paid for your own uniform, did you?
You touched me.
Bob squeezed the dime. So I think it was 6 months, he just kind of confirmed with me then, that you would have to stay and give at least 6 months. But now the cost is so much more.
Yeah, 2 years makes sense.
Why don't we, you can agree that they'll lay it out and then we'll reimburse them if they stay on the job for 2 years, or whatever the time period is.
Do you think that's acceptable, John?
What did he say?
He said that, what if they lay it out and after 2 years we reimburse
Yeah,
them?
but we already laid it out in Mike's
In Mike's case.
situation.
He's ready to run, he's ready to go move, head
I
somewhere
mean,
else.
is he already looking to go somewhere else?
No, I'm not saying that, but I know that somebody, I think of his caliber that he's going to be, I mean, he comes with, you know, he's taser trained, he's a New York State taser instructor, a firearms instructor, live scan instructor. He has certain value that we would like to keep here and not have somebody else try to lure him to their department.
Well, it's already done.
Yeah.
But if you send me the information on what we've laid out,
Okay.
and give me the information on his name and address, and what position he's hired at, and I can give you, we can do an agreement. Well,
What do you think the
I hope
cost
that's
is,
enforceable.
John?
The cost?
Yeah, that you're talking about.
Commitment.
Huh? Yeah,
You
it's a
asked
moral,
for
it's a moral
commitment.
commitment.
A lower pair of pants is $105, a shirt's $48.
So there's 150.
A few pairs of that, a long sleeve, short sleeve, a vest, the academy, ammo. It's probably, I mean, at time, the field training time, you know, you're probably talking $4,000 or $5,000.
Easy.
I think it's a good
Great.
idea then.
And we
John,
pay for all that already?
Yeah.
At some time, could you tell us what, is town property and what is personal property when you equip an officer?
Well, almost everything is town property now.
I mean, we should have a closet full of leftover stuff, shouldn't we? I mean, we had 10 officers at one time.
There is a closet full of stuff
Right,
now.
but I mean, can we reissue this, or what? I can understand wearable clothing would be, and we ought to have a defined amount that the town ought to have a chance to look at.
See,
But vests and things like that, I realize they have to be fitted, and I guess
yeah,
they wear
the
out.
thing is, when I took over, I
Right.
switched our uniform from the blue shirt and the blue pants with the stripe to the black.
You know.
So really, as these officers have come, there wasn't officers with a black uniform then.
Well, I think the uniform is probably the least of our thinking. They shouldn't be able to take their vest with them. I don't believe that.
No, and before I took over, really, the town didn't buy any vests. So,
Right.
it's just recent that we started doing that.
But anyhow, it would be nice, I'd like to have that discussion at some point.
Do they
Okay.
upgrade? I mean, are like the latest vests the best ones?
Well, you can only wear a vest for a certain amount of time, and then through sweat and whatever, it's got a shelf life on it. It's got a regular shelf life inside of it. So when that's done, it's really not going to protect you anymore. It's better than nothing, but
Great. Okay, so like, you want like a,
Why don't we invite John at some point to one of our workshops,
Okay.
and we'll work on that contract. And Warren could actually see if any of his other towns have something similar.
Yeah, I only have one other town has a police department. I can find that in Hyde Park.
Hyde Park, I was thinking.
well, Hyde Park's going to be unionized now.
Yeah.
They're going to have a union that's going to.
They might have some, they still might have something like that.
okay.
Yeah, I'll check, send it to me and I'll just remind me to
All right.
check with Hyde Park.
I know, like Millerton, they come and go, like like a swinging door.
But that's the village, yeah.
Yeah, that's the village police, not the town
Yeah,
police.
and also, are you Rhinebeck?
Rhinebeck, but in Rhinebeck, it's the village. We don't have a town
It doesn't have a town.
police. I represent the town, but we contract with the village for protection services, so we don't deal with
Did
that.
you ask somebody in the village if they have?
But the Hyde Park would know. I
Yeah.
mean, that's a
Okay.
fairly, that's a large police department.
All right, anything else? for
Were we
John?
gonna talk
Oh, the
about the police
matron, yeah.
matron?
So, can you talk about,
The matron, a female, let's say EMS, fire personnel or something, we should try to get into place from when we have a female prisoner in custody or female juvenile in custody. We're going to need somebody to do pat down and to kind of sit with them as we go through the process of the arrest, so that two male officers aren't alone with a female.
I think it's a really good idea.
they have to get training, and so I'm assuming we would be paying for the training.
And I don't know what kind of training that's going to be yet. Most police departments have a female dispatcher or a female police officer, so they just call them in, so it's easy.
So you said we would deputize some individual in the community to do this? Sorry, okay.
Well, it's kind of a situation that came up a few nights ago that they had a female under arrest, and of course, we take her to Troop K to process, but after that, they're alone. So you gotta account for every minute. So pretty much that's what we need one for. When we bring them back down here and go downstairs, and we should too look into a camera at our restraint bench and where we do the booking. So that you can come down, when you come down them stairs, you can state the time, the date, and the camera's on the whole time. Because in this day and age, you have to protect all that constantly.
Yeah, I'm very much in favor of the camera, and I'm also in favor of trying to locate the person that could be called on. And it wouldn't be frequently, but
No.
it's somebody
It's
that
not something
you need
that's
to
gonna
be
be
able to.
happening.
Not all the time, but I think you want somebody available, so I think you should reach out and see what.
And the age is raised now with a juvenile to 17, so there's a good chance you're gonna get a 17, you know, female 17, and that's even more critical.
Any other discussion on that?
So it's meant for just the supervision of these individuals?
Well,
Well,
it's to have somebody
like pat
present.
down.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
Pat Town
You
specifically?
Yeah,
have
just-
to be
you gotta
with
do a
them
pat
so that they're
down.
not alone with all these guys,
Okay.
which is getting, you know, I mean, it's probably.
I mean, there's really, every minute has to be accounted
Accounted
for.
for.
It's quite problematic, and we need to protect our officers
Yeah.
when that situation comes up.
With juvenile specifically, or even with adult
No,
females?
adults,
Any-
adults.
any-
Oh, it
Yeah.
can be, yeah. So anyway, I think we can just authorize you to go forward with it and
Kind
bring
of put
some,
feelers out to see if anybody shows interest.
yes.
And I would check with our emergency services people.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
I was wondering, and I think that we should be able to reimburse them
Yeah,
for their time.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
which would be just something that would help.
And
Oh,
I
yeah, I
can kind
think
of
we have
ask
to
around
pay
at the
them.
chiefs meeting, if anybody knows of any kind of training, formal training.
Right.
And I also think you should look into it, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I agree. Do you want to make a motion on both those things?
I move that we authorize John to undertake those explorations of those issues.
Okay.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor? Thank you, John.
Okay.
If you need any kind of, I don't know, website help or something.
Well, I think Sean,
Yeah.
probably I would go to for the
Yeah.
camera.
Good,
He
okay.
probably is gonna do it.
Okay, I was, great. Ray is not here, he's hopefully on an island sunning himself. So the water report, the daily flow for the month, was steady from the previous month at 52,000 gallons per day. They replaced 7 meter heads and 1 whole water meter. Both chlorine feed pumps were cleaned, rebuilt, and chlorine feed tubing was replaced, so that's kind of a big deal.
I actually read my water report this last
Me
week.
too.
Because he was mentioning it last
Those are the
meeting, and I
pertinent-
went through and I read through
Okay.
read through it a little
And this
bit.
will get, be put up on the website.
Yeah, that's what I read through.
I
wonder if this means the metering will be more uniform.
No, we still will.
Recreation.
All right.
Welcome, Mike Roper, our new recreation director.
Hi, everybody. I'm new this week. The first, I guess, item I'm asking for permission for is to replace a refrigerator. So I'm just asking the permission to spend $500 to $1,000 on a replacement refrigerator coming out of my budget there. The concession stand refrigerator is in disrepair and not operable, and if we're gonna have some barbecues and stuff, we need to keep the food cold before we cook it. And that's pretty much that for that item. A couple announcements I want to make in case people haven't gotten in contact through our phone chain system. Opening day for baseball and softball is now Sunday the 28th. It's moved back one day, so we have more volunteers available that day. And then April 24th, that's a Wednesday, from 5:30 to 7. The varsity baseball and softball teams are putting on a skills and drills clinic for all athletes who want to participate, as well as parents. And that will happen rain or shine. If it does rain, it'll be inside the high school gym, and you are asked to bring sneakers. And that's all I got.
Well, welcome aboard.
Nice one, welcome aboard.
I move that we authorize Mike to purchase a refrigerator.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Mike, I have a request. I need an Excel spreadsheet made of the banner money
Okay.
and the dates, the year you get it, and the deal, because there are so many different categories, like 1 year, 2 year.
Yeah, I believe the 1 year cost is $250 for a
Right.
sponsor, and the 2 year cost is $500.
And then there's a 375.
And that's if you do both fields.
Okay,
So,
so there are,
you just need
Right.
to know.
I
Okay.
would, what, this is the reasoning behind it. if we have a spreadsheet that coordinates when their banner period is over, we will know, like, okay, this person's 2 years, we have to contact them and renew that.
Okay, so you kind of want it like a hard break. So
Yeah.
from April till April is year one
Yeah,
banner.
yeah, or
Okay.
January, yes.
Dara, were you able to speak with Rich? I know he's on vacation, but I bet you
Yeah.
Rich probably already has this on a spreadsheet
Yeah,
if you were able
I
to
have-
contact him.
I
I know he's on
have-
vacation this week, but
Okay, he didn't,
he
When
doesn't.
I sat down with Catherine, we do have pretty much everything in a spreadsheet. But if you want us to sit down and determine a specific date, so that way there,
I'm worried.
that way there you
Yeah.
know, like, okay, so-and-so business has a year left.
Yeah.
So-and-so business re-upped for the 2
It's
years.
gonna
Just so-
get-
Just so it's like,
I
oh,
have it all
It's
on
gonna
my
be a
computer,
train wreck.
too.
okay.
but I want to be able to look at it
Okay, so-
and then keep
But what if
track
you
of
bought a
it.
So-
banner in the fall and then you'd only get it for 6 months, you'd only get to have it up?
Well,
Well,
that's
we're,
what I need.
so we're,
That's exactly the problem.
what I'm envisioning right now is it stays up for the whole year. And then after, let's say you paid for 1 year, after those 12 months from the date we decide that that's the cutoff date, we would take it down, return it to that individual, and then if they want to re-up, you know, they can do that. Or, you know, if their 2 years is up, you know, then we can figure it out that way. So,
If you wanted to sell prorated signage periods, that would be okay. Whereas if someone only
That's
wanted
making me crazy already.
Well, I just feel bad, you know, if someone comes in
You
and
put
is
it up at the
excited.
start of the season, you take it down at the end of
There's
the
a
And
season.
he can
minimum
show that on the
order.
spreadsheet, no
Yeah.
There's a
problem.
minimum order on these banners though
So-
as well, so you're not, throughout the course of the year, you're not gonna be ordering one. Like, don't you need to order like 10 or something like that at one time?
I'm not entirely sure off the top of my head how the whole banner process is, but if we want to say, you know, the banner season for 2019 is April to August, you know,
I see.
and then we take it down, put it in storage, and if you paid for 2 years, April to August, your banner's going to be back out on that field. Now, I'm not sure that's going to be the specific time date, but is that what we're kind of looking for?
Yeah, I just want to be able to keep track
Okay.
of all that.
Yep.
So it'll be like a banner season essentially. And then,
Cause the
I'll send you that
the ice
information.
rink banners would be a totally different
That sounds
cost.
great.
yeah. Okay. Yeah.
They don't go back up for skating season.
They're 2-week.
And then you also wanted when they or who's purchased what. So just kind of a
Yeah, so
clock
you
for
can
you
get in
guys.
touch
Well,
Yeah, because we
they're,
have.
they're writing the thank you notes.
Okay.
The rec department is,
Catherine has sent them all out.
yeah. So, I guess you're taking care of that, so I don't,
Yeah.
but I would assume you'd want the name on a spreadsheet anyway.
Yeah.
so-
We have it all filed.
Yeah.
I just have to open up the program. Catherine and Rich did make one.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna resume the way they have it. I'm actually gonna have Rich continue, you know, because
Okay.
he's been hardcore for it, which is awesome.
That's great.
But I'll make a spreadsheet and we'll just determine in waiver when people sign up. The banner season is, you know, not officially, but from April to August, and we'll go from there.
Excellent. All right. So we'll move on to the new insurance. It's gone down $200 from last year. Last year it went up $10,000. So we're doing well. It will go down a little more when we sell the old library, but then if we do go ahead with any other purchases of property, it'll go back up, so.
We have that open issue with the cyber coverage that they
Yeah.
were suggesting that we get.
They're suggesting that
I don't
we.
know what to make of it.
I put this into your things, and.
I read it.
Yeah, I read it too. I was kind of like, on the one hand, there are a few things, you know, we got a check stolen, if you remember, that somebody created false checks a while ago. That's not technically cyber security, no. But what they're worried about is hacking into our system, hacking people's emails. We're liable for your email, especially if you are using a non-government email, which is a problem.
But it's also people's identification
Yeah.
information, like employees' identification.
Well, that's where I was going, is
information,
there's a
exactly.
lot of
And I do
information.
understand that, but
Yeah.
I don't.
And the question is this,
The net increase is $200, right?
No, 400.
well, he's saying the net, in other words, it's 200 less.
Oh,
Two
Yeah,
less
so it would be a
than
$200 difference from what we estimated.
That's right.
Um,
What do you think, Warren?
I do it.
Do it.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's a cybersecurity requirement, that protocol that all the municipalities are supposed to file. I think we passed a resolution to that effect a while back, and we could be held liable, so we might as well, we should have
Okay.
coverage for that.
Well, I'll make the motion then.
I'll
We
second.
purchase it, right?
so you said, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, so,
What's an example of of something that could go wrong?
If you, for example, if you have information that somebody's personal identity information through the municipality has been breached, do you have an obligation to inform that person of that fact? And there's a state law on that. I could look to see if I'm assuming we passed that, because usually I do these for all my municipalities. But,
Totally
you could be responsible for that.
yeah.
There's
So,
notifications,
it's good
and
to have
a lot of
coverage for
times
that.
They set up a credit review for you for a certain period of time.
See if I can dig it out. If you give me a copy of that, I can see what they're covering.
And then you
see
could
if it
lose,
covers-
data, because I know there was coverage to help you get data back, to cover some
Yeah.
expenses of
Right.
trying to recover things, and there was a whole bunch of things that was covered. That was,
There,
I can think of all kinds of things to be afraid of.
yeah,
But-
you can read about them on the.
Yes,
All right.
okay. Yeah, I'll just give this to you now.
You want a second?
I was.
Okay,
Yeah, this is what I was talking about.
we had the lead discussion already. Oh, okay, one extra thing on this new business is, or old business. The gal that runs Group of Strangers came in today to tell me that the funding's been cut. And so, they're not gonna pay her anymore. And let me tell you what she does. It's been slowly snowballed. So we have slowly begun to attract people to the group. I think it's become already important to, a small percentage, but it's a beginning, and we kind of assumed it would be slow for people to come to her to talk about recovery. She has this wonderful phrase, open recovery, which is like, coming out, or just being open about who you are. And it's a kind of a philosophy, which is what her philosophy is, and she's been sitting in various places in Pine Plains for 4 hours a week since we asked her to come and do it. What is it, like 4 months now, 5 months? She's got regulars, and they come to Group of Strangers, and they just sit there and talk with her. I don't know them, and but the fact that people are coming and continually, I think, is kind of great. I think it's definitely great. They've cut her funding. So I just want to tell you that. I have already written to Greg Pulver. I know that this is the opioid crisis and mitigation of it is really on Marcus's mind a lot. He's got that stabilization center, which is fantastic. If you've never been there, it's this amazing recovery help down in Poughkeepsie. However, it's far away. And Caramia was basically on call for us anytime. I did have personally 2 people that I told about her, and they were able to text her. when they needed her. So it's been, I mean, I already feel spoiled that we had her, and I am a little devastated that it's going away already. But she came to me early. It won't end until June 30th. So I'm just gonna try to find a way to fund her or something, but if you guys have thoughts in the next 2 months, let me know.
I wonder if someone like Berkshire Taconic or someone might be interested in helping.
That's a good idea.
assist the town.
Who did she actually work for?
She
Who-
works,
'cause that's not something the town has enough expertise in if you're
Oh,
thinking
no.
of trying to pick her up as a,
Yeah.
throw her some money as an individual. No, I don't.
no, she works for CAPE, which is Center for Abuse Prevention and Education.
And they were the grant
Addiction
holders.
prevention and education.
Right.
And those were those two ladies that came,
Yeah.
remember?
I
Yeah,
remember that,
yeah.
but I got,
So, the people who fund CAPE are not funding this program. And it's not only her, it's also a teacher who was at Seymour Smith teaching at-risk kids how to handle their emotions and how to deal with their lives. And it was a special, what they call a special at the school. So kids elected to go to it. And unfortunately, it conflicted with fun things like gym. But she did get a band of very regular kids who came every single time and loved the class. There's a slight possibility she might be able to continue doing it at the library. So, they're talking to the library. But again, it's good, all this good that I feel like has just suddenly, we had the rug taken out from under it. But I'm just gonna keep plugging away and see what we can find. CAPE they're under the auspices of CAPE, so they're trained by CAPE and they're watched by CAPE and technically hired by CAPE if there's funding. So, and all that material is up there. But it's like we just got started and we just started to roll on it. So that was that. New business. We did the disaster assistance. The Comprehensive Plan Committee. I haven't heard back from everyone in terms of their ability to be on the committee, but I have heard from most people, and it is, so I just would, I guess, seek approval for the following people. Tim Burlingoff, John Hoffman, Rory Chase, David Conti, Wesley Chase, Mike Stabile, Dara Cloud, and Scott Chase.
There's one woman and everyone else is men.
It's true,
Chase.
it's true.
That's a problem.
These are the people that stepped up,
Yeah, I know, but.
and I did put out a call for it for the last 8 months.
Huh.
So I kind of decided, well, these are the people who want to do it. Do I go seek women?
Was Alice interested at all?
I couldn't get hold of her.
I mean, my wife's gonna have a baby. She might
I
be
know.
around this summer. So,
that's
but I mean,
kinda why
if
I
you're
didn't
looking
ask
for,
her.
Yeah,
no, but
yeah,
I mean, she
yeah.
might be like, she's an alternate now on the ZBA,
Right.
and she'll have some time this summer, so I don't know if you wanna reach out to her. She's smart.
Well, I'm happy to
She'll be
reach out to
good.
women.
She'll be good.
The question
She'll be
is how
good.
many people we want on this committee. It's like too big a
Too
committee
many.
is.
I mean, I'll reach out to her. I might see her
But all
tonight.
guys.
No, I'm just saying that they become unwieldy when you have.
Yeah.
I'll
right.
need a list of those names.
Oh, yeah.
How many were there on that?
There are
list?
7 all told.
That you have now?
Yes.
I would go no more than that.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Right.
So not everybody has gotten back to me saying
I
they're
mean, I know,
definite.
Not everybody on that list has gotten back, or those people have gotten back?
I've heard from everybody except one.
I mean, I know of one other female that might be there, but it would add another last name there that there's already 4.
Samantha
So,
would be
We're
good.
putting her on every committee in town.
well, Samantha, she's great. She's
I know.
very active.
I know she
you
is.
So.
Well, it's okay to authorize.
Okay, we can authorize these people, and then if somebody
just a
drops
wish
out or
list.
something, then I can just keep
Yeah,
trying to
I
look
just
for
want to
them.
make sure that it's understood this is the Comprehensive Plan Advisory Committee.
Yes.
They only are an advisory capacity. And do you want them to comply with the open meetings law in terms of having their meetings publicized and doing it in public?
I think that's a good idea, so people in
I
town, if
recommend
they
it.
can make
No.
it, they can put in their input. I think that that's a good idea.
There'll be several public meetings though, too, I think, through the process.
Oh.
Scheduled for 2?
Yeah.
I think, yeah, on our,
Yeah, we're scheduled for
That
2.
matters.
Well,
public meetings.
those are different. Those are
Right.
the hearings that we need.
But I don't think it's
272.
necessary to have, I personally don't think it's necessary to have,
no,
you know, the open, if we can meet as a committee, or they can meet as a
Yeah,
committee
I mean, I just,
without.
you
without
should just make
having
it
a
clear if
formal
you want
meeting.
them to do that, but it's,
Right.
We can
It's a-
certainly advertise the meetings.
it's an extra burden because they have to advertise the meetings
Right.
and then you have to take minutes and it's
I
just,
think the 2 public meetings would be.
you know.
I do too.
And
I would
maybe-
rather just be able, because part of it is that the planning company is hooking us on the days they're in Dutchess County, they come over to Pine Plains. So it's gonna save us a lot of money. So that might be, suddenly they're here and we have to kind of scramble to pull it together, so. I mean, we'll be more organized once we met the first time, but, okay.
So do I have a motion to authorize those people then?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Oh, aye.
I'll second it since Roy's one of those people.
Oh, Roy's on it?
Yeah,
You can't second it.
yeah, I didn't think so
Seconded
either.
yourself, Thank you very much. I'm very excited to get this started.
That's great.
And Frank is coming the 23rd.
Maybe you can tell Whitney, we're looking for women to join a comprehensive plan.
Get
Welcome to town.
to work. Get to work. Great. And at this point, Ann Noon wrote me a letter.
Yes, I was
Yeah.
gonna raise that.
Okay, that nobody's come in on Saturdays since she's been opening,
As predicted.
as predicted.
Called it, Judy.
Boom.
She suggests hiring her in the fall when fishing and,
No, when
not fishing,
hunting
when hunting
season starts.
licenses
That's a
are.
good idea.
Do you agree with that, since you know?
I agree that when our hunting season first is ready to begin, the licenses first go on sale. Do it for a month then, for the month of August. Okay, well, it wouldn't be the whole month because it usually starts halfway through. But do it for the last 2 weeks in August, okay? Then do it again the 2 weeks before the men get the testosterone level too high to be out in the woods.
We need firm dates on when the testosterone
I'll
level
let
goes up.
you know.
Okay.
How do we tell?
We'll leave this in your hands.
Let me tell you, I was at
capable
Mountain
hands.
View working.
Oh, that's how
and
you
would
tell?
have men say to me, I need my license. Oh, wait, let me put their skin down. I won't take your water, I'll go get it. You know? Give it a break.
So I make a motion, we stop Saturdays until the last 2 weeks of August.
Okay.
When hunting season picks up, and then 2
When I tell
other
you to
dates
start
when Judy tells us to do it again.
Who dares to
I told you
second
it's-
it?
Seconds?
All in favor? Aye.
We know who runs this town, Judy.
Thank God.
And I just have one thing to raise. I would like to go to a program at PACE, the Land Use Center on Affordable Housing in May, $25.
I make a
I would like to go to that too. Can
I
go?
make a motion that Darren and Sarah go to the land use.
Sarah and Dara.
There.
We don't call it affordable housing anymore. The term is now workforce housing.
Workforce houses.
Whatever.
That would make me feel like the proletariat in Russia.
Unaffordable.
Workforce.
That's the new euphemism.
Or something out of Brave New World. Epsilon semi-morons.
I need a second on that.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Make a motion, we go to
Did you
executive
sign up?
session.
Yeah,
Second?
Okay.
All right, now, you guys need something signed?
executive session regarding,
The,
The possible purchase of the Hart property and Stissing Farms, I'd like to talk to you about that.
Can we talk about the road too, going into the post office? Because that's a private road, it has nothing to do with us, but can we at least
Talk about the